De-silting of the John Compton Dam is nowhere near completion despite tens of millions of dollars spent on the process during the previous UWP administration. This may cause even more trouble for residents as the island experiences a dry spell and Wasco's reservoirs shrink. According to Infrastructure Minister Stephenson King, 80% of the dam still needs to be desilted.
The phase of the silting which was done under the previous administration, for which I had no responsibility or part of, I wasn't the Minister for Utilities, some $60 million was spent. The figure of the silting was something between 10 and 20%, the silting that took place. So it means there's still a lot more desilting to be done. Now we have spent $60 million to desilt 20% of silt. There's still 80% and building backup that has to be desilted.
As of Monday, April 24, 2024, 8 feet of water in the reservoir had evaporated as an intense dry spell leaves the island parched.
We are also seeing out of the John Compton Dam system, which of course, as most of you are aware, it serves anywhere from Cap Estate right through to the Millet area, Cul-de-sac, and all of those areas are included in that zone. That zone is fed from the John Compton Dam, and we are seeing very increased evaporation. So we're getting our levels, which our normal levels are 333 feet, which is when our spillway spills over. We are now currently, as of this morning, down to 325. So we are seeing a lot of evaporation taking place out of that system.
The dry spell might be the new norm in the foreseeable future as the climate emergency worsens with a warming planet. The same heat that leaves the land desiccated provides the fuel to the supercharged rain-driven tropical storms that triggered landslides and floods which pile on the silt in the reservoirs and already depleted water catchments. King says the Water and Sewage Company needs to employ new mechanisms to boost the island's water supply while continuing works on the dam.
Part of Wasco's strategic plan has to take into consideration some of those matters of how do we continue to maintain the John Compton Dam in as far as making it a viable resource through the silting, and what other methods or mechanisms can be put in place in terms of being able to augment our water supply, particularly in the north.
The government says it is committed to providing Wasco with resources to augment its water supply.
Because they've got to do a feasibility study, and of course to be able to indicate to government what resources they will be in need of. But remember, Wasco is a public corporation. It's a public corporation. They don't operate on any government subvention or subsidy. It's a public corporation. They operate as a business, and therefore what government can do as a fully government-owned or corporation is to give guarantees to loans and other forms of financing.
Officials continue to call on residents to conserve and store water to mitigate these adverse impacts. Wasco recently rolled out a water tank initiative to help customers collect and store the precious commodity. Joachim Duplessis, HTS News Force.